Bulavinaka, and welcome to another episode of Talk Business. Tonight, we're at the Rock Climbing Fiji Experience Facility, Nausori, as we speak to its instructor and co-founder of the business, Manasa Kamakama. When a friend of mine had suggested to me to check out a rock climbing business in Nausori town, at first I thought I had heard wrong, so I had to ask again if it really was rock climbing. And I just knew we had to feature this outdoor sports on our Talk Business show. Located just beside the new railway bridge on the left side lane as you make your way to Nausori town, the rock climbing facility sits on the premises of the Nausori Baptist Christian Academy. You can't miss it if you're planning to try out this outdoor sport for the first time. This one-of-a-kind outdoor sport is the venture and brainchild of outdoor sports enthusiast Manasa Kamakama and his wife Chawana, who reside in Lakana. It's not a surprise at all that this Tailevu man grew up in a sporting family, as he reminisces on all the great sporting memories he was involved in while growing up, really garnered the inspiration of how he started the business. This is his story.
I'm basically from Bau, from the island of Bau, but I was raised in Ningringinlali, but my maternal link is from Viriana Kasiri. And I was born in 1971, Lomaivuna. That's another settlement in Itasiri. I guess that's probably what makes me become the person I am, because of the different places I go to and I was raised in. So I call myself a spontaneous, meaning I can just be anything and do anything I want to do when I feel like doing, and nothing's going to stop me. And that's why I love outdoors.
Manasa also played for the national team in rugby league and made a career living abroad for some years. He shares on how this all came about.
My sporting career, it was funny. I grew up just doing everything, and then time to come to Lilin. I was in Lilin, living in Bau for 2 years, and then after that, my uncle saw the struggle that I was going through. Mastandao came to me and he asked me, "Son, can you play rugby?" And I said, I was only 17 years old, and I said, "Yes." And he said, "Go pick up your bag, tell mom and dad, you're staying with me." So, and that's all he wanted me to do. So when I came to Lilin, I concentrate more on my rugby. So all he wanted us to do to be successful in our sporting activities. I had Otiko Kamakama who made it to the Olympics. So I was raised in a sporting family.
He also spoke on his newfound passion for kayaking.
That was very interesting because, you see, when I was playing rugby, you know all the risks that you go through, the injuries, and I had a bit of a shoulder injury. And then I was walking over the rail bridge going to my training. I saw a group of people from international schools, they're students from international schools, paddling kayaks under the rail river. So while they were paddling, and I thought to myself, "Whoa, this is a good thing for me to do to fix my shoulder injury." So I went down there, and the instructor, as soon as he saw me, he said, "Hey, come down. Why would you come down and give it a try? It's the first sport. Why don't you try it?" So I went into the boat, and he said, "Okay." Next thing he saw me, I was out in the river, and it never happened that way. And so I was a natural, according to them. So I got into that, and then he said, "I'll teach you the roll." So I got into doing the rolls. And it was like natural. He said, "You flip over, come back out." And right now, I can consider myself a good kayaker.
He also spoke on one of the major drawbacks of pursuing kayaking back then.
The only thing that was my disadvantage in those days was that there was no support from the national level. We didn't have any canoe association. I didn't have any money to support me. I was only paddling merely because the Australian Canoe Federation was supporting me at that time. Then while I was in Sydney, then a rugby club in Sydney approached me and asked me, because they found out that I used to play for Fiji, and asked me to join them. I joined them for about half a year, and then I continued on playing rugby league in Australia then. So that was it.
Manasa shares on how he got into rock climbing, a venture that began 10 years ago in 2008, and it was through his home church that he was introduced to the sport by a missionary. Rock climbing is simply defined as a sport or activity of climbing rock faces, especially with the aid of ropes and special equipment.
When I came and part of this church, there was a ministry that we used to run called the City of Refuge. We were looking after the street boys in those years, and I believe right now, some of the street boys must be watching, and they're going like, "Manasa, But anyway, I was with them and we were running a facility in Suvalu, just feeding them, preaching to them, sharing to them. And then after that, the church asked me to come and join them back here and bring the boys. So when I came here, there was a missionary that came over, Alan Williamson. And this guy was a fully climber. So he came and did the climbing, and that's how we got into it. And this was way back in 2008.
The church had decided to train someone on the basics of rock climbing, and there was no better person than Manasa who perfectly fitted the job description. And so for 10 years, he focused on creating awareness on the sport before finally registering the business late last year.
2008 to 2018, I was just promoting it for the public. I asked the pastor if I can make an awareness, and they agreed. And so I created an awareness. We opened it up to the public, and the only gateway into the public, this is a private school, but the only place that the public can come in and be part of it was through me. So, and then I took advantage of that. And 2018, we exactly the same month, August, we registered the business. The training they did to me here was just simple. You know, this is your rope, this is your grip, this is a carabine, and this is what's used for. Then you do the belaying this way, and it was like all natural.
Manasa briefly explains what their rock climbing facility contains.
Our facility is about 15 meters right to the top, but you're going to conquer only about 13 meters. That's just from where that belay loop, that loop is. But our facility is actually made of just wall, and you have this boulder attached to the wall, and that's what we do. Over here you will see this, it's a bouldering place where people can just climb across. We've had people climb this way, come down, but it's a good challenge. I've seen a lot of people that make confidence, they gain their confidence from here. They come here, they climb, they enjoyed it.
Like any other business, there are challenges, as Manasa explains.
There's quite a lot of challenge that we're facing, but look, I'm a believer. I'm not afraid of challenges. One thing that we face, you know, I met a good friend. I don't want to tell you his profession, but a good friend asked me one time, and he said, "Brother, what are you doing at the moment?" I said, I'm doing rock climbing. That's my business now. And he said, "Why rock climbing? I thought you'd be doing something else." I said, "Why you asked me that question?" And he said, "Rock climbing, not everyone in Fiji knows about it." I said, "That's a whole idea. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make the Fijian people to know about this activity."
He says it will take a while for people to begin to love the sport and be able to appreciate nature at the same time.
Outdoor, you don't have to pay to become an outdoor person. I've seen a lot of good friends of mine, people that came here, they probably got motivated from here, I don't know, but I've seen a lot of my friends are out there somewhere, posting pictures where they are up in the mountain somewhere, and I love it. So the only thing with outdoors, what we are intending to do is try and build a center. You know, we can assist you in everywhere at a very cheap option. That's what we're intending to do. But for anyone that wants to do outdoors, it's free. All you have to do is step out, go to your village. It's funny, I take pictures of old times in the village and I post it, and then I hear our locals going, "Yes, I was brought up in that place. Come on, let's go back to that place and have fun." And that's it.
Rock climbing is now an emerging popular sport worldwide and will be introduced for the very first time in the 2020 Olympic Games in Japan.
Rock climbing in Fiji, the good news is that it's an Olympic sport. 2020 will be the first year they introduce rock climbing into the Olympics. So that's just next year. I'm looking at 2024. You know, climbing is natural to us Fijians. I remember when I was a kid, you know, you show me a coconut tree, I'll be up there, no worries. That's the kind of mentality we have in the village. bring it to rugby. You know why they won gold? People still asking themselves, why do they win? And rugby is natural to our local Fijian. Why? Because every day they engage in touch rugby, and then they call it street rugby. Well, to us, we have also street climbing.
He explains on their customer base over the years, with kids and families taking advantage of the sport and having become regulars at the facility.
The people that are very much interested in outdoors. Not only that, I see a lot of people that have expanded their, people that have traveled overseas, they come back. A lot of this, what I'm doing right now is actually trying to empower our locals. This is why I pride myself in it's the cheapest in the country. You pay only $20 and you're given 3 attempts. And after that, if you're good, I'll be happy to give you another or 2 more attempts. Why? I'm trying to encourage our locals to get engaged, involved in outdoor activities. So yes, climbing is here, and we are here to stay, and it's not gonna move anywhere else. So the only thing that we are intending to do is actually get better from here.
And one of the best part of doing shows like this, and the reason I love my job, is you get to try out something new and different each time, and that's exactly what I did. I didn't let my fear of heights get in the way, and it did work actually. So if you, your family, friends, or workmates are planning to try out this outdoor sports, here's how.
Rock Climbing Experience Fiji is just this facility, and this is what I'm grateful about. It's the reason why we registered Rock Climbing Experience Fiji is because it's the only facility that we got available. I would, if I have kayaks, I would do other things if I had kayaks or other outdoor sports. But as far as we are concerned, the core of the business is outdoor sports. What we do is encourage people to engage in outdoor activities. We are here. We are on Facebook. People in Fiji, we got 10,000 followers on Facebook, and we are on Instagram. Just type at Rock Climbing Fiji, you'll get to our Instagram page, and you can just drop us a message. Ideally, it would be nice if we have a gym, and that's what we are working towards.
Manasseh says all their devices and equipments are brought in from abroad and are quite costly, so they do their best to maintain them in the best condition.
It's quite simple. With Rock Climbing Experience, we have all the devices and all the equipment here available, so that's a whole lot of the very expensive device, but we try to maintain it and keep it. Ropes are strong, but if anyone is interested, just come prepared. We are not stopping anyone from climbing up. Give it a try.
He also spoke on some of the highlights of people that have tried out the sport.
I've had 125 kilo men climb up this, so that gives everyone hope now. So just when you have that in mind, 125 kilo men up the wall, and I'm 120 kilo myself. So the two of us, that means there's 200 plus engaged on this. That means it's pretty good. It's safe. So when people come here, come ready, proper sneakers and nice shorts and everything. We'll have you out there.
He also spoke on some of the health benefits of rock climbing to the body and mind, especially in fighting non-communicable diseases in Fiji.
It's a great tool too to tackle NCDs. NCDs is a big problem in our country. I tell you, come out, do some outdoor activities, be part of the nature, enjoy what the nature can offer you. And I tell you, and I'm a big testimony, I have a testimony, but it'll help. Rock climbing is a challenge, mental challenge, a lot of benefits as it comes to your physical, readiness. When you do rock climbing, there's a lot of adrenaline is involved in here, but it'll come a time you will know the techniques, and I've seen it. You go into YouTube and watch it. You see how people conquer big mountains, even going out this way, and you would never believe it. I used to grow up thinking, how can these people do it? But now I'm seeing it and I know it can be done. But the benefit of rock climbing is just too much. Our health benefits, it keeps your blood flowing properly and everything. in terms of physical fitness.
He also spoke on the various packages they have on offer.
Right now, we're only working on the basic, and that is $20 per person. As for the adults, teenagers is $15 and $10 for kids. So that's the only package we have at the moment. In the near future, we're looking at, I've got people, friends, and that are ready to help me with that. We're going to put together a package when we start bringing in other activities like camping and kayaking and other activities more than that. We'll be happy to sort of put together a package.
With a following of over 10,000 people on social media platforms like Facebook, this has definitely boosted their brand over the years.
Social media has been a great help. One thing I like about social media is that I get results instantaneously. It's very quick and it's free. So, the only thing that works for me at the moment is social media. People know about rock climbing through social media. And I know I do have issues with Facebook and everything, but Instagram is doing very well with me. A lot of people messaging me, and I sort of wait for them here, and it's good.
This is the schedule if you want to sign up for a day of rock climbing activities.
Because it's a school facility, we only engage people to come in at 3 o'clock. That's because we don't want to be a disturbance. We don't want to disturb the students while they're here. So only at 3 p.m. during the weekdays. So make sure, very important, make a booking, and please do come. Because I see that's one of the challenges we have. I know I've worked in a business, I've worked in a company. We all talk about doing some outdoor activities. At the end of the day, people just drop an email or message, I'm out, and next thing, nobody's interested to come. And that's what I get every time. People book, and this is why I feel there's more that's needed to be done for outdoor activities.
He says if people in Fiji do engage themselves in outdoor sport, he believes there's going to be more awareness on the environment.
I've seen the bad side. You know where I see it? On the river. And whenever we go down into the river, we used to usually teach ourselves to start picking up rubbish, put it in a plastic bag, put it somewhere safe, and then do our activities. Well, I can put things together now, because if people in Fiji do engage themselves in outdoor sports, I believe there's going to be more awareness to our environment. People don't want to throw rubbish. I drive on the main street and I see a lot of rubbish on the wayside. I don't blame pedestrians. These are rubbish from the cars and trucks and buses. So if we can just teach ourselves to keep our rubbish, put it in, and then maybe I have this thinking because I'm in the outdoor business and I'm doing this constantly. It reminds me to keep the environment clean. And not only that, it's a great tool too to tackle NCDs. NCDs is a big problem in our country. I tell you, come out, do some outdoor activities, be part of the nature, enjoy what the nature can offer you.
Manasa has plans to diversify the business, and he wishes to purchase a farm in Rakiraki and open a gym-like facility in the city of Suva.
I'm working hard to sort of secure that farm in Rakiraki. That's what we're working on right now. We're buying a farm, and the whole reason why we bought that farm, we're buying that farm, was because you gotta be in the farm if you love outdoors. And in that farm, I'm going to start employing a lot of people. We need farm managers. I'll be out there doing activities. We'll have a campsite. There's a whole lot of other things that we are intending to do from the farm. On top of that, I'm a fully qualified kayak instructor. So hopefully in the near future we will start bringing back the kayaks we used to have before, and I'll start training people on how to the basic of kayaks, and who knows, maybe we have another different so kayaking and farming and mountaineering, all of that is part of our business.
Manasa's inspiration for the sport comes from his love of the great outdoors.
My inspiration, I think it's a key to everything that we do is a passion. I often tell my friends and everyone I know about this. If you have a passion, you stick to it. And there's going to be challenges, but if it's your passion, you're going to continue on. Nothing is going to stop you. So for me personally, that's my passion. My passion is outdoors, and it's quite obvious. If you talk to me, a lot of times we do funny things. Like my wife and I've had Christmas on the road. It's simply because it's my passion. One time we just got up in the morning. I said, "Hey, happy Christmas. What are we doing today?" And she said, "I don't know." "Okay, let's pack up and let's go for a road trip." You know why? Because it's my passion. My passion is what's driving me. It's what's motivating me. And I know you will never fail if you have a passion.
He hopes that when people get involved in rock climbing, they do have a one-of-a-kind unique experience and be able to conquer their fears of heights.
There's a whole lot. I mean, you go into my Facebook and see the product review on our Facebook, and you'll be, people talk about positiveness. It's a different thing. Normal in Fiji, training is just run and do other activities. Now you've got a lot of other muscles that you can work on. But on top of it, I've had people who are fear of heights. They got that phobia. And one of the things that I enjoy is watching them conquer this wall. And that's not a problem. The only thing is if people have confidence in themselves, and they can do it.
His advice to others out there wishing to venture out into their own business is to keep focused and work towards your goals.
I now tell the people, like I said before, it's the passion. You identify your passion. The good thing about climbing in Fiji, I can run this in Australia and I'll be struggling. Why? Because there's a whole lot of other activities around. The good thing about Fiji, and this is probably why a lot of investors come into the country, is because they find there's a lot of opportunity. So you have to find a few things. One, you have to be the one driving.
Manas also shares on where he would like to see his business in the next 3 to 5 years.
We want Fiji, Fijians to know there is a place to go. When it comes to outdoor activities, you got a place. I've never mentioned this. Even right now, as we speak, I have a good friend of mine who is an educator. He's working on registering outdoor as an academy. So we'll be running an outdoor academy.
Through all his business ventures, he thanks the never-ending support of his wife through it all, the Baptist Academy where the facility is based, and his family.
My greatest support team is, of course, my wife. I'm so thankful for my wife. She supports me, through and through. Of course, it has to be that way. In terms of the business, I want to thank also the school, Nausori Baptist Christian Academy, for allowing me to sort of have this going on here, and it's doing a great job for the Fijian people. Not only that, I do have a good friend and a cousin of mine, Panapasa, from Juice Fiji. Panapasa sort of comes in and he gives me support whenever it's needed. These are the very close friends. And of course, thank you, Fiji One, for allowing me to do this and have a shot at this. But above all to all those friends and families that have come in and tried, thank you very much.
With their anthem of your home on the great outdoors, this new, unique outdoor sport of rock climbing experience is one that is now gaining momentum in the country, and as more people try out this adrenaline sport, we'll be able to fall in love with it and find all the benefits it can bring to you physically, mentally, and pushing the limit like I did to try something out of my comfort zone. And that's all for Talk Business tonight. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Until next time, have a productive week.